So good afternoon everyone. In last class we have discussed about cyber crime. So today we are going to discuss types of cyber criminals. So last class we have left with the topic how to prevent being the victims of these cyber crime. So there are some tips for us. It's like number one is use strong passwords, keep your software updated, manage your social media settings, be aware of scams and online fraud, the right use of a virtual private network VPN, be updated on major security suits, know what to do when you become a victim. So these are some tips we need to remember. Now, again, what is cybercrime? Cybercrime is taken very seriously by law enforcement in the early long periods of the cybersecurity world. The standard cyber criminals were teenagers or hobbyists in operations from a home laptop with attacks, principally restricted to pranks and malicious mischief. Today, the planet of the cyber criminals has become a lot of dangerous attackers. Are individuals or teams who attempt to exploit vulnerabilities for personal gain. In short, we can understand that cyber criminals are some they are some teenagers or some hobbyists who loves to explore the things, and they are doing this for some sake of financial gain. Now, techno vandalism means unauthorized access. Unauthorized access occurs when unauthorized access to a computer results in damage to files or programs, not so much for profit but for the challenge. So in such case, the damage or loss may be intentional or accidental. Then technocrime. It's a type of white collar crime, most always resulting in some sort of financial gain. So technocrime also referred to as cybercrime because it frequently involves use of the World Wide Web and can take many different forms. Although people are the culprits behind the planning of these crimes are actually often committed by complicated computer and software application designed to steal confidential information. In short, we can understand that the crime is taking place just for accessing your system and for collecting your personal information, and which can be like stealing your confidential data, and they can also like demand some money from you for some financial gain, and they can disrupt your system. Also, they can steal the data from your system and can also can do some changes or can implement your data. Like you are unaware that your system is being hacked, and the hacker is already doing their work. They have access to your system, they access your system, and they have implemented some changes in your system. They install some malware, some software in system, and you all are unaware about the same. Now, there are some fundamental of cybercrime. One is confidentiality. Means it involves the efforts of organization to make sure that data is kept secret or private. The meaning of confidentiality is secret or private. To accomplish this, access to information must be controlled to prevent the unauthorized sharing of data, whether intentional or accidental. So, a key component of maintaining is that you are making sure that people with proper authorizations are prevented from accessing assets important to your business. So conversely, an effective system also ensures that those who need to have access have these necessary privileges. Confidentiality here comes with only the authorized user is able to access your system, whether you are running any organization or whether you are in a particular place. So you are making sure that only the authorized person is accessing your system. Then integrity means make sure your data is trustworthy and is free from tampering. So the integrity of your data is maintained if it is authentic, accurate and reliable. Means while accessing any type of data, you must ensure that your data is authentic and the user is also authentic, and you must access any web link, any link. If you know that the user is authentic, please do not go for any link which you have received from any user. So please confirm before accessing to any link that the user is authorized or not. Then availability means data is kept confidential and its integrity maintained. It is often unless is available to those in the organization and customers they serve. Means the availability of data should be for those who are the part of organizations or who have the access to a system. For a particular organization or for particular groups, the data should be accessible, not for everyone. Everyone can't see your personal data. So the system, network and applications must be functioning as they should and when they should. So individuals with access to specific information must be able to consume it when they need to, and getting to the data should not take an inordinate amount of time. Means whenever you need your data, you must be accessible, you must have access to it. And when you need things, like you can access it anywhere and any time. So when you are accessing any data, you are when you click any link or you want to access your organization data, so you know that whenever you click your link, what is your requirements are get fulfilled. So whenever you want your data should be available to you. Now, types of cyber criminals. There are 4 types of cyber criminals: hackers, organized hackers, internet stalkers, and disgruntled employees. See, what are hackers? The term hacker may be referred to anyone with technical skills. We can say like someone with technical skills can refer to as a hacker, because the person who is accessing my system and is performing some unauthorized access to my system and is also stealing my data, also some data breaches occurs, there are some loss of my personal information. So we can say that the hacker must have some technical skills. However, it refers to individual who sees his or her skills to achieve unauthorized access to systems or networks to commit crimes. And we can also see that there can be the individual who are accessing anyone's system, and means they are accessing their system to achieve unauthorized access and they are committing the crime. So the intent of the vulgarity determines classification of those attackers are white, grey and black. So white hats hackers are vault networks or PC systems to get weakness so as to boost the protection of those systems. The owner of the system offers permission to perform the vulgarity and they receive the results of the take a look at. On the opposite hand, we can say black hat attackers make the most of any vulnerability for any embezzled personal, monetary or political gain. So grey hat hackers are somewhere between white and black hat hackers, and they could notice a vulnerability and report it to the owners of the system if that action coincides with their agenda. Now, white hat hackers, grey hat and black hat. These hackers utilize their programming aptitudes for a good and lawful reasons. We can consider white hat hackers as they are showing their aptitudes for some good and lawful reasons. Means these hackers may perform network penetration tests and attempts to compromise network to discover new vulnerabilities. Security vulnerabilities are then reported to developers to fix them, and these hackers can also work together as a blue team. And they always use a limited amount of resources which are ethical and provided by the company. They basically perform pen testing only to check the security of the company from external sources. Means these are some employees or some person who are testing systems of particular organizations to check whether their systems are secure enough. Means no one can access their system. Any unauthorized access or any alteration of data can't be occur in their organization. Now, when we talk about grey hat hackers, these hackers carry out violations and seemingly deceptive things, however, not for individual deletion or to cause harm. These hackers may disclose a vulnerability to the affected organization after having compromised their network, and they may exploit. Means they are exploiting their network just to have their access to their systems to exploit their image or to exploit the data or to gain some confidential information. Then black hat hackers, these hackers are unethical criminals who violate network security for personal gain, and they misuse vulnerabilities to bargain PC framework. These hackers always exploit the information or any data they got from the unethical pre-testing of the network. When we talk about black hat hackers, so they are some unethical criminals and they are violating their network security for some personal gains. Means they are framing the network PC or they are framing the PC in their own way, and they can exploit your information and also any data so they got from your network. Now we talk about organized hackers. These criminals embody organizations of cyber criminals, hacktivists, terrorists, and state-sponsored hackers. So cyber criminals are typically teams of skilled criminal targets on control, power, and wealth. These criminals are extremely subtle and organized and should even give crime as a service. These attackers are usually profoundly prepared and well-funded. Now, internet stalkers. These are people who are maliciously monitoring the web activity of their victims to acquire personal data. This type of cybercrime is conducted through the use of social networking platform and malware that are able to track an individual's PC activity with little or no one detection. When we are talking about internet stalkers, they can be someone who are keeping eyes on your daily activities. They know they have installed some types of malware or software in your system. And when we are talking about internet stalkers, they know your day-to-day activities. They are active on your Instagram, they are active on your Facebook, and they are active on your LinkedIn profiles, and they are noticing and they are stalking your day-to-day activities. And with the same, they are examining you, and they can consider what type of activities you are performing, and for their personal gain, they can I can say can gain access to your system. Means accordingly, if I know what you are doing in your day-to-day life, so I am totally aware about what you are doing, what's your timetable, when you'll go out, when you'll come inside. So they know in which type of organization you are working and where you'll go and many other things. So they are the stalkers. Means they are basically stalking you. They have some agenda. Now, disgruntled employees means they are hackers with a particular motive and also commit cybercrime. It is hard to believe that dissatisfied employees can become such malicious hackers. In the previous time, they had the only option of going on a strike against employers, but with the advancement of technology, there is increase in work on computers and the automation of process. So it is simple for disgruntled employees to do more damage to their employees and organization by committing cyber crimes. The attackers by such employees brings the entire system down. Please refer for cyber law IT law India. Means disgruntled employees is like, we can consider it, if I am working in an organization and for a time I am working with some organization and suppose some kind of things happen with me and my manager. So I have some technical skills and I know how to use them. So I am using my technical skills against the particular organization so that their image can be destroyed and I can gain their information, and I can also sell their personal information to anybody else for my personal gain or for some my personal sake. Okay? See, cyber crimes are done through criminal activities. So cyber space by device connected to internet. So at the time, cyber crimes are also called computer crimes. Means the criminals have their motive. They can be their personal motives or there can be their political motive. And they can be, we have classified cyber criminals when they are committing crime with three motives. Means monetary, personal and political. So classification of cyber crimes, basically the main objective is to gather some confidential data and people use it for some political or personal motive. So we can say that almost all cyber crimes can be classified under 3 headings, and they are grouped together to target some heads. So they are cyber crimes against individual, against any organizations, and against society as large. Now, when we are talking about cybercrime against individual, there are certain types of cybercrimes which are taking place against an individual, which are cyberbullying, cyber stalking, cyber defamation, phishing, cyber fraud, cyber theft, and spyware. Now we are talking about cyberbullying. So we can say that it is not defined under any Indian law, but it refers to bullying someone. Means the criminal is, or the person is threatening the victim. By threatening the victim is harassing the person and also embarrassing. And it basically the hacker or the person is using some technical knowledge or some technological devices for bullying. Means like the hacker can humiliate or can embarrass about content. Means they can post some content about the victim of online bullying, and also can hack their social media accounts, and can also post some vulgar messages, and can also threat the victim to commit any type of violence. Means basically the hacker is cyberbullying. Means they can hack your account and can post something unethical in your accounts. Can also post something which is vulgar and which is not to post. By using your account, they can post something in your accounts. So it means they have gained unauthorized access to your system, and basically they are threatening you, they are harassing you, and they are embarrassing the victim, so that they can perform any kind of crime. And threatening someone with child pornography, and we can say is under section 67 of IT law. There are some laws which are issued in section 60 of section 507. Then we are talking about cyber stalking. When we are talking about cyber stalking, means someone is browsing your internet history or online activity, and they are sending some obscene content online with the help of some social media, and they're using some software to know about that particular person. And in short, we can say this is called cyber stalking. And means the person is browsing my internet history, they are stalking. Means they are having eyes in my digital platforms, like I'm using my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my Twitter, and anything else. And they have installed some types of softwares in my systems, and they know what I'm doing. So they are not generally detectable by victim as cyber stalkers to open spam accounts. We can consider it like, if I'm using Instagram and I'm using any type of social media platform, so someone with fake account can send me a follow request, and unknowingly or unintentionally I accept their request, or I can say they have some fake account. The account which they have created is made intentionally. They have created their account intentionally to have eyes on my account. Means they to know what I'm doing in my day-to-day life, what are my activities. So basically they are stalking. They have made some fake accounts, and they are eagerly waiting for me, waiting for my activities which I perform on my platforms, and they'll keep eye on the same, and they're stalking me. Means they are know that where I'm going, what I'm doing, and these are the things. And it's very difficult to find cyber stalkers, because maybe they can create any fake account, and I know that maybe I can consider him that he's my friend, or she is my friend. So maybe they can create account with anyone's name, and I am unaware about the same, and they can stalk me, and they can also use the same information for some financial gain, or for harassing me, or for threatening me. So here are some punishments. Means under section 67, the cyber stalkers who cause to send or publish obscene posts on content on electronic media can imprisonment up to of 3 years and a fine. So there are some sections under liability law for the criminals who are committing this crime. They have to imprisonment for 3 years and they have to pay some fine. Now, cyber defamation means injuring the other person's reputation through social media. And when we are talking about cyber defamation, we have divided into two types, means libel and slander. Libel means defamatory statement which is in written form, and when we are talking about slander, it's a defamatory slander which is published in oral form. So, means if I'm talking about libel, it's about writing any defamatory comments on post and forwarding any type of message on social media group, and which is the part of cyber defamation in the form of libel. Means the we can consider that the cyber criminal or the hacker is committing this crime, means he is using some social media platform, and by using my name, he is sending some types of some offense messages, some posts, and commenting on some post while using my name. So this is comes under libel. When it comes to slander, means using you are uploading videos on YouTube or using someone's names for some popular gain, and you are using some unauspicious content. So we can consider it as slander. Okay. Now, phishing. See, this is the important term. It refers to fraudulent practice of sending emails under the pretext of reputable companies to introduce individuals' personal information such as passwords, credit card numbers, etc. online. We can say that phishing refers to impersonation of legitimate person and fraudulent stealing someone's data. And through phishing attack, cyber criminals not only exploit innocent individuals but also spoil the reputation of well-known companies. When we are talking about phishing, it refers to sending emails under the pretext of reputable companies. Means when we are talking about this attack, the hacker will send emails in a bulk, and they will seems like to be authorized users, and they are using a well-known company's name for their financial gain or for accessing someone's personal information, and the personal information can be their passwords, can be their credit card numbers, etc. online. And they'll send you an email, they can also send you some link, and the link seems to be a real link, but that is created by a user for their victims, so that when they click on the same link, when they will visit the link. So basically, they are accessing any fake website which is created by the hacker for the victim, so that when they enter the link, when they will share their personal information, the hacker can capture the information and they can use it for their personal use. Means they know their passwords, they know their login credentials, and they know their if any type of shopping is occurred on the same platform, on the same link. So they know their credit card numbers if the number is used there, and they know their UPI transaction and all. Means they are stealing their personal information, and basically they can use it whenever they want without the real owner. Means the owner is not aware about the things that their personal information is being used for someone's personal gain. Now, cyber fraud. When we are talking about cyber fraud, it refers to fraud committed with the use of a computer, and any person who dishonestly uses the internet to illegal deceive people and gets personal data, communication, etc. Basically, when we are talking about cyber fraud, the main agenda is we can say the main motive is to make money. The cyber fraud is taking place nowadays we have also seen that there are some types of fraud occurring. Means our parents are receiving a call that, sir, we have arrested your son or your daughter in a drugs case or in some other case. So basically these are some types of fraud which are occurring nowadays, and they are saying that if you will pay this amount of money, then we'll close the matter. So basically when we are talking about cyber fraud, this is nothing. This is their main motive for gaining some money, for making money. Their main goal is to gain money, nothing else. And we have also heard that there are some calls are receiving to our parents or to anyone else who are using credit card or any type of transaction. So what they are doing, the criminals are making just calls and they're saying, sir, we want to know your credit card 4 digit last 4 digit number, and you have to tell us, and we are sending some amount of money. And somehow we can say that there are also another one is the calls are by like they are the hacker seems to be like, we are calling from this particular bank and we have sent some amount of money to you, and kindly share your last digit PAN number, last digit credit card number or your Aadhaar card number, so that I can link your account or I can get some transactions and all. So these are various types of cyber crimes which are taking nowadays. So the main motive is we are aware about the crimes which are taking place. Means I know what types of cyber crimes which are taking place nowadays. But somehow our parents, maybe my parents, your parents, they don't know that these things are going on. Although they are not aware about this technology, they are using smartphones, but somehow they are not aware about the technology as much as I have the knowledge of technology or you have. So basically the crime is taking place to fraud or to corrupt someone. So there are examples, means sending emails containing fake invoices, and they are also sending fake emails from email addresses similar to official ones. As I already mentioned, that they will create a mail with someone's authorized access. Means they will seems to be a real user, but they are not real user, and they will send the invoices. They will also send the mails in bulk, and the user seems to be a real user. Now cyber theft, it's a type of cyber crime. We can say someone is accessing unauthorized access of personal or other information of people by using the internet, and the main motive is to gather some confidential data like password, images, phone, and the use is to leverage to demand and lump amount of money. The unauthorized transmission of copyright materials, trademarks, etc. over internet is a part of cyber theft. We can also see that cyber theft are committed through various means like hacking, email SMS, spoofing, etc. When we are talking about cyber theft, it means someone wants to access your system, and the access is unauthorized. It means I know my login credentials, I know my login password, I know my login ID, but someone with their main motive, they have their another motive. So they wants to access my system for some amount of money, for making money. So what they do, they will access my system and they will use the internet. And what they will do, they will gather my confidential information, they will gather my personal information, like they can collect the information like passwords, image, phone numbers, etc. And they can use it, my personal information, for gaining some amount of money from me. And we can say that some trademarks, they can also gain anyone's, information. Means it's not like that ki they are using or they're accessing my system. They can also access someone, a particular organization's PCs also, or particular organization systems also. So what they will do, they'll just access the system and they can ask the company to pay up plenty amount of money so that their image cannot be destroyed and their personal data cannot be shared. Or when they are knowing about my personal activities, they are knowing about my phone numbers, they know about my images, they know about some materials. So what they will do, they will just simply call or they will use it for their sake. So and these crimes can take part by hacking. Hacking means the person is simply entering someone's system and the access is unauthorized access. Means if someone is accessing my system without my knowledge, means I am the authorized user, and the person who accesses my system without my knowledge means he or she is accessing my system, and that access is unauthorized access, means they are hacking my system. Then we are talking about how they are committing crime. They are sending some emails, some SMS spoofing, means they sending a email and they are sending some SMS, and those emails and SMS seems to be real ones. And when I go to this link and when I click for the same link, so I can, the page automatically, what the page will do, the link the hacker will create it. When I click on the same link, the link which I have clicked will automatically change their browser, and they will, seems like I have gone to their platform, means the platform which they have created. Now there are, under IT Act, data theft is defined under section 43B. Also we can know, we can see that downloading, copying or extracting any data, computer database or information from computer system or networking without permission of its owner. Under IT Act section 43B shows that if you are downloading, copying or extracting anyone's data, or you are accessing anyone's system, or you are gaining someone's personal information without permission, so punishment for cyber theft is provided under section 60C of IT Act, and the punishment is up to 2 lakh fine and imprisonment of up to 3 years. Means if a hacker is performing such type of crime, means he or she is accessing the data, copywriting anyone's data, or downloading anyone's personal information, so the person can be punished under IT Act. And under IT Act we can see section 66C. The person can imprisonment of up to 3 years and can also pay a fine of up to 2 lakh. Now spyware. When we are talking about spyware, it's a type of malware, malicious software. It's installed on system accessing computing without the end user's knowledge. In simple, we can say that spyware is a type of software or malware, or it's a type of malicious, we can say, software. See, when we are talking about spyware, so the main motive is the spyware is installed on someone's system, and someone is when it is installed, it starts, the user or the hacker can start accessing the system, and they can, without the end user's knowledge. Means if someone has installed spyware in my system, which is a software or which is a malware, so without I don't know that this type of system is installed, this type of software is installed in my system. So without my knowledge, they have installed some type of software in my system, and their primary goal is to steal my personal information, which can be their my one-time passwords and some credit card information and some passwords, so that they can do shoppings, they can use my cards, and they can also use my personal information for their financial gain. And also, when we are talking about spyware, there are also some punishment provided under section 43 of IT Act, which is if anyone damages the computer system, etc. So without his or her permission, so he or she will liable to pay damages by way of compensation to the persons affected. So spyware is basically nothing. It's a type of software or malicious which is installed in someone's systems. So in someone's systems to get their personal IDs and personal password. Thank you. That's all for today.